Howdy y'all. Hey, I wanted to talk propane water heaters with you for just a minute. I've got a new Whirlpool I got over at Lowe's, and it's got a Honeywell gas valve on it. And I don't know if you've got you a new hot water heater these days or not, but you're in for a surprise if you hadn't replaced one lately, because they got new electronic valves on them. And they're kind of sensitive and touchy, and anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of troubleshooting. My dad's got a rental place here, and I kind of take care of it for him, and the renters called and said the hot water heater kept going out. So I went down and tried to start it, and sure enough, the pilot light I could get to come on, but whenever I would release the button, the pilot would go right back out, just like the thermocouple was not getting hot enough, even though I would hold it down for 3 minutes and let the thermocouple get plenty of hot. But still, it would go back out. So, you know, I took the thermocouple out and kind of brushed it with some wire, not a wire brush, but some steel wool, trying to get off any, you know, kind of soot or something, and that didn't really seem to make much of a difference. So, anyway, I hit the striker, I don't know, 90 different times, like it said on the front of the unit. Hit it 90 times in 90 seconds, and anyway, none of that was working. So I ended up calling the help desk, and they first said, you know, try this, try that. Well, that didn't work, and then finally they were going to send out a certified plumber to take a look at it, and but somehow the call got dropped. When I went back up in the house, it's got a metal roof, and so I ended up calling again. I got a different technician. Well, this technician, he was just about to say, yeah, let's call a certified plumber to take a look. And he said, well, there's one more thing I want you to do. And I thought, well, okay, I'll try it. Let's give it a try. And he said it's possible that it could have had a thermal shutdown, maybe because the unit got too hot. He said, now there's two reasons a unit might get too hot. And one is underneath at the bottom of the water heater, there's kind of a little belt type screen that goes around it, and if a bunch of dust bunnies and dust get all up on that, it's possible there could not be enough air intake, and it could cause the unit to get hot. And I said, well, we you know, had some dust bunnies, and we got that really cleaned up good with a vacuum. And he said, well, there's one other thing. He goes, take that belt screen off and then get like a little brush that you might clean the inside of some drinking glasses with, and get that and go right up under the very center at the bottom of the hot water heater, and then make sure you kind of really dust that really good, because that's right where the air intake comes in. And if it's obstructed in any way, that could cause the unit to overheat. He said the other thing is, at the very top there's a vent, and there's got to be, you know, the hot air has got to be able to go up and out of that. So I got up on the roof and checked for any dirt daubers or wasp nests or anything like that, and I didn't see anything. But he also said that he goes, close all the windows in the house, and you're going to do kind of a ventilation test. Now, this particular hot water heater is in the same room with a clothes dryer that's also gas, and so that competes. You know, it's pulling air into that dryer, and like gangbusters is blowing it out through its vent, and so that's causing kind of a negative vacuum to be pulled on the hot water heater vent. Also, if you turn on a gas stove inside the house, that's kind of competing for air. If you turn on the little vent on the gas, that's competing for air. If you go in the bathroom and turn on the exhaust fan in there, that's competing for air. And so there's various things in the house that can compete for air that is needed to make sure that this water heater is functioning properly. So anyway, I want to get back to the Honeywell valve unit that's on this hot water heater, and I want to kind of show you what this fella had me do that actually solved the problem. There's a thermal reset button on it, and I'll show you where it's at. And I went and I hit that reset button, but that did not solve the problem. Then he said, and I'm going to show you this little diagram here. Let me take this camera off this tripod real quick. Here's this diagram, and this is a Honeywell gas valve here, and it sits on top of a Whirlpool. In this case, it's a 50-gallon propane water heater. Anyway, you got your gas line that's coming in. There's a little valve for you. You know, you could set it for off or pilot or vacation or warm or hot or super hot, those kind of things. And anyway, it's got a little blinking light up here. Once you get the pilot lit, this thing will, you know, go to blinking and stuff. Anyway, it's a little different with this electronic stuff. But there's something called a thermopile that goes to the thermocouple. That's the wires that go to the thermocouple. And they stop off on the way at a little junction area down here. And right in the center between that wire there, which I believe is a red wire and a white wire, right between it is a thermal reset button. Now this is not a spring-loaded button, it's just kind of a real stiff plasticky button. And he had me depress that, and nothing really happened. It didn't work for me. But then he said, come in here with some needle nose pliers, take out this is a junction box here. You reach in there with your pliers, needle nose pliers, you get a hold of it and pull it loose, and it just kind of plugs into two little posts there. And then he said, come down here and take this wire loose and take that wire loose, and they just kind of slide out with little, you know, little screwdriver sleeve things. You can get a hold of them with needle nose pliers, and then put it all back. So I put that wire back, put that wire back, plug this back in. And he also said, you know, while you have these two wires off, go ahead and use your back of your pliers or something and press that real snugly. You don't want to break it off or something, but, you know, just press it down really good, make sure it resets. That's a thermal reset button. And then put all your wires back on there, which I did. And then, sure enough, I got over here, I turned this to pilot, pushed it down, and then started hitting the little striker button, which is right here. And sure enough, on the 16th time I hit that striker button, the pilot came on, and I held it down for, what I had been doing is having to hold it down for about 3 minutes. I held it down for, I don't know, maybe a minute, and then all of a sudden this light up here started blinking on, just like it was saying, okay, we're getting the signal now on the thermocouple, we're going to allow gas to go onto this unit. So I went ahead and moved this up to hot, and sure enough, man, the burner just came on, and man, I was rescued. So anyway, I just wanted to share this information with you about this Honeywell gas valve on a Whirlpool hot water heater. In this case, it happens to be propane. But anyway, when I finished up my conversation with the tech, he said, now, just because it came back on, you know, you're not totally out of the woods now. Like he said, there's 2 reasons why the unit could have overheated. And so you need to kind of look at that. That is, keep that screen really clean at the bottom intake, and you know, brush that little intake spot off. And then you know, you can do a little test. Turn all those different appliances on, and then get you a match and strike it up at the top of the hot water heater, right where the vent meets the top of the hot water heater. And when you blow that match out, if the smoke doesn't get pulled up inside that vent, then it's possible that you're not getting a good flow or a good draft on that, and so the heat is backing up on the unit, causing that thermal reset button to be needed. So anyway, I just wanted to share that information with you, not so much just with you, but with myself, because it's possible that I may face this again in a year or whatever, and of course I'll have forgot it by then. So anyway, this video is as much for me as it is for you, but if you're having trouble with it, hope this information helps you, and good luck to you.